Morning. Now you know why. I take Mondays off. It's historically not the best coupon on the planet. After a weekend, you just get the old dregs popping up. So having a look at yesterday, lots of both teams to score. Viborg and Aalborg. What an excellent result for Aalborg, the newly promoted side. I suppose a possible angle in here, 1-2. Take them on. And that would have sorted itself out by half time. But a really good result, newly promoted. And that's the problem. Big question mark about newly promoted sides, how they're going to handle it. You look at Dender in the Belgian Jupiler League, beating all comers and convincingly so. We're talking some big guns here. Union Saint-Gilloise, the champions, couldn't beat them. I think Ghent couldn't beat them. So watch out for newly promoted sides. That's why I keep going on. Newly promoted, newly relegated. Guess what? Two newly relegated sides. Absolutely no clue at all. Barnsley come out of this shining. I'm not sure I would have taken on any lead here. But if you are to take on a lead, 0-2, of course, is your ideal starting point. Keep your liability low. SJK deserved to beat VPS on paper. And comfortable. Red card not required for any additional goals. Athlone and Wexford. Well, another 2-goal haul for Athlone against Wexford. You look at the head-to-heads. You'll have seen last season a 2-2 and a 3-0. 5 goals in 2 matches for Athlone. So highly likely to score. That was an angle in if Wexford score first. But they didn't. 2-0 by half-time, which was what we were expecting based on head-to-heads last season. So I wouldn't necessarily have taken on Athlone yesterday. But what a great result for Wexford. And a gentle reminder to you, 2.3 the favourite. These are imponderables, so says the professionals who create the market. Coppa Italia, another goal fest. And Cagliari, Salernitana getting through. Lecce as well, the top flight sides. Eredivisie, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Don't forget that accumulator in this league, amply shown yesterday. This is what we expect in the Eredivisie. It's probably a very good league to focus on over 2.5 goals or even over 3.5 goals if you fancy it. I haven't quite managed to suss out an over 2.5 goal play. I think it's going to be down to the actual odds for over 2.5 goals pre-match. They have to be at a reasonable price. And I know that Winning More, Steve Davidson's website, has had a recent football. Oh, look, there's all the staff of footballtradingprofits.com are working for him. I can't believe it. These are all my researchers, you see. They come in every day to help me out. I think there's a new product based on over 2.5 goals, but I still keep coming back to my researchers. So let's see if I can find that. If not, I might buy it for you and try it out, because I'm sure one or two of you would like a bet and go. And that's what I tried last season with the laying the draw second half. To some success using lay 1-4 staking plans. That's something I will resurrect the new season. And I will keep an eye out on this Steve Davidson over 2.5 goal strategy. You never know. It might have some legs. It might be something to add to your armour. Or add to your armoury. Piesklavice and Katowice. I think Katowice newly promoted from the Polish one leg. Scoring first. So that's a potential angle in. And a very quick response. This is exactly what you want when a favourite is conceded first. So, yes, possibilities here with Katowice, newly promoted. Arouca, well, did that red card change the match? No, it didn't already. Guimarães had scored first. Hammarby and Bromma. Hammarby will be a little disappointed not to have got out of this. 3-1 by half time, very sloppy. And again, I wouldn't have laid Hammarby necessarily. Superatten, much of a muchness really. Bodrum and Gaziantepspor, again, far too early in the season for us to entertain any trading angles here at all. You'd have thought with a red card that Bodrum could take advantage, but no. Rizespor and Başakşehirspor. Başakşehir fourth last season, I believe. So deserving of getting something, but they did score first. So it was a messy day, very little to interest. Monday and Fridays are my days off because I will work when the football is ripe, and that's Saturday and Sunday. On to today, and it's second legs all the way through. We've got two ways of gauging this match. Well, three, if you want to read the previews, of course, which I pass on to you using AI in the research. And my friend with the streamers out again. Fabulous stuff. I think he's got binoculars and he waits for me to go on to my video and then gets the old streamer out. The bar steward. Let's have a look at these first leg results, because this is the key. Slovan Bratislava already leading. So what can we take out of this? Apoel must score the first two goals. They're odds on favourite today. So the market's expecting something. Bodo Glimt, now you know why they limped to a 1-1 at the weekend. This is distracting them. They've only got a 1-0 lead against Jagiellonia Białystok. I think the champions in Poland last season. This is no gimme for Bodo Glimt. I think their odds are far too short here, considering that it was only a 1-0 in the first leg. Far too short. I don't know how the market makers can distinguish between a Norwegian and Polish league side and get such an emphatic 1.48 for Bodo Glimt. I would disagree with that myself. It's only a 1-0 lead. Fenerbahce, don't forget, it's the special one. And we relied on him in his last Champions League match. I think against Lugano. Came from behind to get the win. He's 1-2 down. Do you trust the special one? Lukewarm, 1.83, just below evens. But must score the first goal. I wouldn't be surprised if this turned into a Fenerbahce 1-0 win to move it onto extra time. They only won 1-0 at the weekend when incredibly short odds favourites. Why? Because of this distraction. Twente and Salzburg. The Dutch season will be beginning soon. 1-2 lead for Salzburg, likely. It's going to be another competitive affair today. As you can see, it's wide open. Very difficult match to unpack. Don't forget with these leads, a 0-0 is in play for Salzburg at their best. A 0-0 will get them through. PAOK against Malmo, 2-2 from the first leg, I believe. So all to play for here. And another one, you can see a very blunt performance at the weekend for Malmo, a 0-1 win. That's basically down to this distraction. They would normally be scoring 3 to 5 goals against their opponent, ordinarily. Ferencváros and Midtjylland, we know the Danes. 0-2 lead for the Danes, very comfortable. So they can afford a 1-0 defeat here. But I think if Ferencváros score, Midtjylland will have to respond just to take the heat out of the situation. Ludogorets and Karabag, 2-1 lead for Ludogorets first leg. Steaua Bucharest, 1-1, all to play for. Another difficult one to unpack. How do you gauge these two sides? Rangers, 1-1 against Dynamo Kiev. Good result from the first leg. They got home advantage. They did get their first win of the season. And again, it was a stuttering, blunt performance. Why? Because of this Champions League before and afterwards. But they'll take the win. They had to win. They had a 0-0 in their opening match. And already Celtic are ahead of them. So plenty to play for there. The New Saints against Petrokub. It's 0-1 to Petrokub from the first leg. Well, 2.1 the favourite. It's a bit lukewarm. Mornar, Paid and Hacken. I would be all over Hacken here. This is an Estonian side and already it's a 1-6 lead. So it might be a tolerable loss for Hacken today. So watch out. They can afford a 3-0 defeat, even a 4-0 defeat and still go through. So if it's a 2-0 Paid lead and it's late on, I wouldn't necessarily take Paid on, despite this being a quite obvious big gap in quality. Mornar and Pax, 0-3 to Pax from the first leg. So it looks like they're quite simply the better side by far. Don't forget, they don't need to win. It would be matches like this one that I would focus on. Odds on favourite at home has to score. We had that with Austria Vienna last week. Elsewhere, let's just have a quick walk through the coupon. It's probably going to be dominated by these second leg matches. Apart from the cup, it doesn't make any great appeal there. Thisted, very short odds favourites indeed. If your side's called FSB Uri, then you're going to get it excited today. They're in the cup. We're not going to be playing these lower tier leagues. I think Guernsey's involved in one of these leagues. My home island. Well, I think they're a bit further down the pecking order. We've got the EFL Cup, which is going to be, I think, a competition worth following this evening. Yes, we've got our market ideas, odds on favourites, but the in-play stats will certainly show us something. And one match I would focus on, I think Plymouth are playing today, or are they? I think they're playing, yes they are, no, Plymouth Parkway are playing, sorry, my mistake. Plymouth are playing soon in the Cup, and it would be the first home match for Wayne Rooney Football Genius. So contextually, you'd expect his side to put up a solid performance against Cheltenham. I think they're playing tomorrow or the day after. But this is well worth following. Absolutely no point researching it for you at all. But what I do like to see is a gap in the leagues, as we will see in this particular case here. Well worth following. So it looks like it's going to be a late evening for me this evening. Championship against League One. Yes, Wrexham have Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool money to help them. And Wolverine on the left wing. He's a formidable opponent. That's it at the moment, I think. So it's a coupon dominated by the first leg results in Europe. Scottish Challenge Cup. And this looks like second tier stuff. Banks of the D, Cowdenbeath, it's all lower tier sides. So it's again, Super Eton 2.55 the favourite in such a poor league. No, thank you. Friendlies, we're highly unlikely to see the Premier League sides out with the weekend arriving. AC Milan against Monza. But Monza did beat Inter Milan recently in a friendly. So treat these friendlies with extreme caution. They played Inter recently, I think. In fact, I'm sure they did, because I remember the match. Or it was, no, Inter were playing at Monza Stadium, and they lost to some Mickey Mouse Saudi Arabian outfit. So watch out for these friendlies. But it's near to the start of the Serie A, so AC Milan might take this one seriously. So it's predominantly a cup day today. Sorry, European club competition today. I will be on hand for you. Looks like a late one for me. I hope with the addition of the English League Cup and a lot of familiar names, the EFL Cup, not the League Cup. It's a completely different competition. Professional Development League is a very good league for over 2.5 goals. Watch out for these scorelines tomorrow. Highly likely you're going to see a bit of the old Eerste Divisie, both teams to score in over 2.5 goals. Tends to be a real pattern in that competition. As I said, I haven't sussed out over 2.5 goals yet. It might be, I think, down to the odds and a staking plan. So it might be something for me to look into this new season. I just haven't found a really solid way of doing over 2.5 goals. As you know, I'm a reactive trader. I react to what's going on. I think that's the best way to trade. Don't take an opinion pre-match. Yes, have your research as a foundation, but it's what happens in play, isn't it, that counts. Simple as that. The best way to attack a match is to watch it unfold. But there must be a way for us to profit from over 2.5 goals or any other of the over and under goals markets. Have a great day. I will, looks like I've got a late one on, so I'll get the coffee brewing. I'll see you from probably 5:30 or thereabouts for the earlier kickoffs. 5:30 for Paden Hacken Already a 5-goal lead for Häcken. And then we'll move on into the English Championship. So the EFL Cup at 7:30. I think it can yield a trade or two, this. We just have to pick our battles and extremely strong use of the in-play stats. Have a great day. Don't forget, for the tennis fans, you're getting nearer to the 3rd Summer Grand Slam in the US. Hence, US hardcourt tennis is something for you to focus on if you're a tennis trader. And you can trust these players to give their all. Ditto with the ladies. Rublev again, I wonder if he beat himself up with his tennis racket after losing this one. Again, to an Aussie. I do like following the Aussies, apart from when they're breakdancing, of course. So have a great day. I'll see you 5:30 onwards. It's going to be a late session, I think.